Good morning, America. This is Dr. Cherry. Before anything, as always, my statement: I am the first cosmic cop on planet Earth, teaching the world, the police, the FBI, the CIA, Secret Service, society, the cosmic code laws. So here we are. Now, today's newsletter is quite interesting. And before I go into it, remember my last video. I warn you, it's all about the beginning or ending of important phases of life. As far as I'm concerned, I have been touched. And I'm sure you did too. Now, if you don't think so, it's either because you did not listen to your friends or you are unable to analyze yourself. And that's bad news. Maybe because you're a pothead. Or maybe because you don't have any logical sense and unable to observe what's going on around you. You're in the la la land. All right, so let me kind of refresh your memory here. As always, my window dictates the high probability of earthquakes at or above 6.0. And of course, we had a 6.0 in Smith Valley in Nevada. So, Dr. Cherry, you did it again. And again, it's not, yeah, I'm the best. No, nothing to do with that. It's just warning you and making you aware that I know what I'm talking about. And maybe you should pay more attention. All right, so what about beginning and ending? Mr. Pence lost it. New book details Vice President fight with Trump. That's new. All right, in case you cannot relate to my work, I'm giving you those examples. So this way, maybe you upgrade your psychical vibration. Biden fires top official at Social Security after he refuses to resign. Hello, is not the end of these Social Security big officials part of life? It's not an ending of some sort. Maybe another example. Okay, what else do we have? Sad enough. Boxer Chris Eubanks' son, Sebastian, dies in Dubai during this negative window, beginning or ending of important phases of life. Sad enough, this is when I also lost my mom. Rest in peace, Mama, during this type of window. Now, he did not die, drowning like they said. He committed suicide. And of course, I'm going to give you all the details. I mean, that is if you are a VIP. So if you're interested in the newsletter, just become a VIP and let me teach you a little bit more about divine astrology or forensic astrology, which should be used by the FBI, the police, and or everybody for that matter. What else do we have? Kamala Harris' stepdaughter makes Paris modeling debut. Hey, hello. Is that a new beginning for this young woman's life? What else can I take to help you assimilate my work? World new deepest pool opens in Dubai, part of a huge underway city. Hello, it's not every day that you have the biggest pool in the world opening. Well, if you don't get it, let me keep going. Biden and America, longest war ever in Afghanistan. Well, how many do you think of those young soldiers are about to start a new life as of August? Get it? Sure you do. He also target big tech and internet services providers with a new executive order. That's going to change a lot of those suckers, wealthy, greedy bastards' life. Now, what else do we have that depict the beginning or ending of important phases of life? Sad enough, I told you the reptilians are after the police. Indiana police officers on FBI task force was ambushed and killed right on my window on July 7th. What else do we have? Haiti president was assassinated in an attacking on his home, talking about the beginning of important phases of life, my good friends. What else do we have? Putin turns US saying their world dominance is over, the beginning or ending of important phases of life. Well, you can expect a little bit more from Russia and from Putin. Make note, get your pen, make notes. Probably, let's see, I'm going to do it real fast on the 18th. Okay, on July 18th, you're going to hear a little bit more news about Putin, Russia, cops being killed, crazy lunatic infected people, killing people, terrorism, nature devastating forces. Careful what you do on the 18th. I'm giving you that now. Okay, next SOS Deadly Plutonic window. So basically, I tried in a very logical way to make you aware that my UFO predictive legacy is real. That is, again, if you are able and willing to pay attention to my work, and to do so, you have to read, you have to watch the video, and then you have to click on the link of the new newsletter that I wrote today. So the title is Contact in the Desert, Coast to Coast AM, Witchcraft and Voodoo Practice. Well, you're going to say, Dr. Turi, get away with that. Please stop it. I understand you. Quit it. I got you. It is not about me quitting, getting rid of it, letting go of the past. It's about teaching you. It's only by doing repetitive work that you are going to get it. So instead of judging me or assuming, you click on the link of this extraordinarily important newsletter, because it is kind of a little sample of what I would do for you if I was, again, allowed to make a movie on Amazon Prime. And as always, okay, you do have the link in the newsletter, okay? Just click in it, click on the link, and show your true support to Dr. Turi. Ask those guys at Amazon Prime to reinsert alien contactee. Because if we manage to do that, guess what? All that I'm going to tell you today, or all about you reading about the power of the subconscious, voodoo and witchcraft, will make certainly a big difference into your life. Now, it's a little sample that I took today of the movie that I want to do, this movie that involves the supremely powerful forces coming from the superconscious in time and spaces, and how you can harness its power consciously to reach all your wishes. Or you could also, sad enough, reach your subconscious by accident. Of course, there are no accidents. And in the process, create serious havoc in your enemy's life. Now, you could also, doing so, impose financial losses, trouble in their endeavors, kill their career, and even induce death. That is very, very serious, my good friend. And it, sorcery, spirit possessions is very real. And this cannot be confused or mingled with astrology, which is more of a progressive, enlightening type of divine science. Now, there are very critical rules in the metaphysical world. And one is very true and depicted that if you share your power, you're going to lose your power. But in my case, I have so much wisdom, so much knowledge, or so much inner power that I'm sharing some of this critical power with you today ain't going to affect me. In fact, sharing my power is just helping me drastically. All right. So, generating anything positive or negative, particularly positive with your family and friends, those you love and respect, or negatively with your enemies, at a subconscious level, can only reward you and does not bring any karma. In other words, if you are using the metaphysical forces that you were born with, okay, to help somebody, you get good karma. You throw something up, it's going to come down. Remember, the future is the reincarnation of the thought. Through your thought, you can reach people, you can reach the future, you can do a lot of damage, and you can do a lot of healing. Okay. Now, be aware that if you are using this power unconsciously, no karma. Now, if you are doing it consciously, or you're trying to use voodoo, black magic to hurt your enemies, and you don't know what you're doing, you're going to burn your ass. So, sorry, my French. This is serious. This is not a game. All right. So what I'm trying to tell you, if you are or want to be a black magic, a sorcerer, a witch, or a voodoo practitioner, or doing anything remotely that involves black magic, you better be aware of some of the critical rules that I have for you in that newsletter. Again, unless you are fully cosmic conscious, aware of the forces emanating from your superconscious, your own subconscious and superconscious, understand that karma, okay, will work on for you or against you. So if you understand karma, if you're fearless, if you're protected somewhere, somehow, or know how to protect your spirit from invasion or the reptilians, and if you are very wise and knowledgeable, that's very good. And if you are not of anything that I just mentioned, stay clear. Stay clear from any and all form of magic. I could pay a heavy price by dedicating or trading on dark ground you don't understand. Be cautious. Now, you don't want to freak out, first of all, because as incredible as it may sound, my good friend, and to a certain degree, okay, every single day of your living or sleeping life, you are endlessly practicing good or bad black magic. All right. Now, rest assured, unless you become a VIP and ask those pertinent questions to me from the Cosmic Code private website, I ain't going to give my rare cosmic teaching out to the public. I mean, I don't want your enemies to gather my cosmic wisdom, okay, and use it against you. So that's a good news. Now, I don't want you to think that all I'm doing here is to lure you into the Cosmic Code and get nothing in the process. This is why today I took one simple, single, but very powerful example involving contact in the deserts and share it with the general public today. Now, you need to pay attention and realize that some people are very gifted in both the physical and the spiritual plane. Meantime, it is quite rare to be blessed on both the physical and spiritual matters, okay? The video below in that newsletter was produced in November 18, 2019 in Los Angeles. And I proved right then, right there to the public that my UFO protective legacy is real and my connection with the superconscious not only is undeniable, but it can also be taught. You could do exactly what I'm doing. But first, you have to remember you are not just a human being. You are a little bit more than a human being made of blood, flesh, and nerves, okay? You're a very, very powerful battery source of power that can be used for good or for evil. Now, some artists, musicians, actors, dancers are amazing literally mind-boggling, and some will shock you with their performances because they are so uniquely gifted. Now, and since we live in a physical, dense world, society naturally will only react to this world on a physical, rational way by using their 5 limited rational senses. But because an indoctrinated religious or atheist deceived society is not educated in the mystical fields or untrained in the use of the third spiritual eye, this does not mean that magic, black magic, or voodoo do not exist or do not affect you. Be cautious. Magic tricks can be cleverly practiced, but don't be fooled, my good friend. Even if you deny it, real magic exists also. You know what? At 71 years old, I know better than to be resentful and nurture damaging feelings or revenge thoughts against anything or anybody. I have learned that we as humans are on earth to learn, to grow, to succeed, to be happy, to serve others, and repay our karma. Thus, the power of forgiveness and love is much more worth spreading than actually nurturing cancerous, evil, negative thought in your heart and soul, and in the process end up slaving for the reptilians, something that don't promote, just the opposite. But every single one of us is a machine of deep and powerful creative or destructive emotions that once released under the form of magnetic thought will reach the intended target, consciously or not. Every single day you are doing white or black magic. You're not conscious of it. Let me explain. If, for example, you are a public person like me, and people love you and respect you for who you are or what you do to them, like I do. So you are in a position, of course, of reaching thousands of people. And I do reach a hell of a lot of people all over the world. And some of those souls who vibrate at my cosmic speed are connected, so to speak, to me at a higher spiritual level. And like me, they are also generating their own powerful creative or destructive thoughts. And since, again, the future is nothing else than the reincarnation of the thought, and at a subconscious level, those people and I are working together, and those thoughts become an extremely condensed laser beam that will reach my enemies. Thus, sharing misfortune with my supporters, in the case of George, Tom, and Victoria, you're talking about contacting the deserts, is in some way applying the power of the thought indirectly with my friends, okay? And that, of course, neutralized the karma because they don't know. I know, but they don't. And since they don't know, they don't pay the karma. I should pay the karma because I generated the thought, I created the thought. But the difference is I know how to protect myself. That's the difference. So again, the last thing you want to do, my friend, the very last thing you want to do is to engage with someone who can use and direct thousands of bad thoughts against you. This is why, unless you are armed psychically, if you are knowledgeable And if you are truly informed of metaphysics or witchcraft or voodoo, and you know all about the forces of the superconscious, you better be safe and be always positive with everyone you know around you. Common sense, work for the light, promote the light, gather the light. Negative energy, negative thought will reach, your enemies, the target, but they're going to come back to you. And if you're not trained, you're going to pay the price. All those negative thoughts are going to go be right back at you. Remember, think of throwing a rock in the air and it's going to come down. And you need to know that you're not under it. So, in a newsletter titled Contact in the Desert, Truth About Victoria George, Norrie, and Tom Deinheiser, I explain what happened to me with my old good friends. Sad enough, not knowing the rest of the story, many of their own supporters who do not read and only assume, for whatever reason, think I'm bashing all those guys just for the sake of it. Well, if they don't read, how can they know? The reality is, my friend, if you look at the terrible Contact of the Desert, the latest deplorable technological conference, the curse, literally, and the complaint reigned supreme before, during, and after the event. Certainly the worst UFO conference ever. I ain't gonna tell you that, but I know better. I know about the subconscious and I know about the stars. Had those idiots in charge of this public gathering consulted my astrological expertise instead of avoiding me, not only total success would have been experienced by all under a set of very protective stars, but also me offering critical UFOs information to their audience, something none of the scientific famous experts invited are able to offer you. Again, my friend, remember, this does not mean I know better than they do. No, that's not my message. All of those UFO speakers' repertoire of wisdom and experience are worth listening, enjoying, learning from. But simply realize that minds are only different because of my connection to Draco. They are different, they are very different, mostly because they are coming from a highly spiritual, protective extraterrestrial named Draco that I channel for you right here, right now, since June 2012, when he came into my life during a solar eclipse. You know, the beauty about me being a UFO speaker is in all my UFO experiences that I did, even in my cruise in Mexico on the ship last couple of years ago, and all that I will do in the future, I will always offer solid proof of my unique psychical legacy. And I remember last time I did it on the ship, people were shocked. They had the proof that I was touched by something unusual, that I was delegating with forces that are incomprehensible, that speaks through the middle of my hand, by feeling. The question remains, my friend, how many of those UFO very famous speakers you know or listen to, they can offer you solid proof of their experiences like I do? I'm the only one. I'm the only one on planet Earth able to do so. And just because I said it, just because it is the fact that you cannot understand, you don't want to accept, or cannot rationalize with, now you're going to think, oh, Dr. Turi is the biggest egocentric man on the planet. Your mistake, my friend, not mine, because you haven't been with me when I do that. And this is why I have that video. But even though with the fact in hand, even with the video, you cannot always help a young soul to raise his psychical vibration and accept the gift or the truth that I represent. When I told you, be ready for shocking surprises. My good friend, how do you think the hundreds of family members who have lost brothers, sisters, mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, friends, how do you think they feel? Don't you think it was a surprise for them in the middle of the night at 1:30 in the morning where they were asleep in God's arms, in the spiritual realm? Don't you think it was a big surprise to be awakened because the freaking building crashes? I warned you. I warned the world. Yet, with all this in hands, facing reality, the envious young soul, the infected reptilious young soul, will still deny the gift I own. My good friend, the sad reality is you have people also like Jeff Bezos, worth over $213 billion. Elon Musk, $116 billion. Bernard Arnault, that French guy who owns so much art gallery, $185 billion. And all these guys, like Richard Branson, they should concentrate on joining the fight against climate change and investing in Mother Earth, its wildlife and nature, because Mother Earth, our only living satellite, is showing serious signs of distress. And we should make it a priority while we can, because time is running out. Those rich, very rich, greedy people instead will take a space flight and bring in their wealthy friends. Well, you and I, the poor young mother raising her kids, is struggling. I cannot say I'm struggling, I'm blessed, because I am doing exactly what God intended me to do. That's why I have it all. But my friend, don't you think money should be spent in a better way? Do you think God created the moon or Mars for Elon Musk to send little robots? Do you think God created all the planets and the solar system for all those wealthy people to actually promote their financial endeavors and have a good look from the space station or in the stratosphere? Don't you think this supreme wealth should be used in a way that helps Mother Earth? Because once she is gone, she's gone. And so will all these rich, greedy bastards and all the good people like you and me. And for this, for saying the truth, for pointing out the facts, I get to be called an egocentric and moron. Been called that all my life, but it made me who I am, Dr. Cherry. So my good friend, take the time to, once you're done listening to me, please go and read that newsletter, because so much information is there for you. Click on the link, be part of the solution. Help me to teach the world about the nasty reptilians and the good draconis and how we can survive the greed, the ignorance, the stupidity of those who have too much money and too much time to waste. You're in this battle with me. I only have you and you have me. And there's a lot of us out there. And the numbers on my YouTube channel are growing every single day. I can't wait to get to 10,000 marks. But believe me, my friend, we still have time, but time is running out. I want to teach you the power of the superconscious, how you can affect, alter your own life or other people's life because of your thoughts. I can teach you. I want to teach you. And that movie, I was so excited to produce for you. It's going to stay in the dark because my reptilians infected enemies are much more active than you are. So it's time to reverse the current. It's time to work with me, to work with the draconists, to work with love, with light, respect, integrity, education, cosmic awareness, so we can start to turn this world in the right direction by introducing all of you to God, Cosmic Design, Jesus' initial cosmic ministry, and understand the power of your superconscious in time and space. And for what is worse, put your hand on my book, Beyond the Secret. Become a VIP. Help me be part of the solution. All right, my good friend. Again, remember, July 18th, cops will be killed. Crazy people will kill people. Dramatic news, death news, cyber attack, terrorist attack, Russia will make the news. I'm well ahead of you. I'm telling you what's going on during that window. I will write a newsletter and I will do a video, but I want to tell you that I gave you these dates of July 18 on July 10th, 2021. Just make a note and I will be there to refresh your memory. Until then, my good friend, God bless all of you. Thank you for listening. Go and read that newsletter here and help Dr. Cherry. All right. Bye-bye. See you again.